It was a silent night in Lonavala, and I found myself walking alone on the deserted streets of the small hill station because it was a weekday, and at that time there were very less tourists. I had come here for a work conference and a meeting with very important officers, but it had ended earlier than expected, leaving me with a free night to explore the town because I expected that the time would be like 2 a.m. at the night. As I walked, I noticed that the town was early quiet at 12 p.m. The only sounds were the rustling of leaves and the howling of the wind through the trees. I shivered as I walked, feeling a growing sense of unease. After wandering for some time, I stumbled upon a big hotel. It looked old and heritage type of property. I entered the lobby and the boy at the reception greeted me with a smile. Then they gave me a room and charged 2000 per night, which was very cheap for that moment at the night because the hotel was very famous and big enough to charge more. Then the bellhops welcomed me and asked, "Welcome sir, can I help you with your bags?" I declined because it was only one bag and headed up to my room, which was on the second floor of the hotel. The room was dimly lit and the furniture was old as it was heritage hotel, but it was clean and comfortable. I decided to settle in and get some rest before my journey back home the next day. As I laid in bed, I quickly got to sleep because I was very tired from the journey and the meetings. Then after some times, a few hours later, I heard strange noises coming from the hallway. It sounded like someone was walking, but the steps were slow and deliberate, as if someone was dragging their feet. I tried to ignore it and go back to sleep, but the sounds only grew louder. I got up and opened the door, but there was no one there. The hallway was empty and there was no light, but there was windows in hallway and moonlight was coming in hallways. So I can see the hallway lightly and but the sounds continued. I realized that they were coming from the room next door, which was supposed to be vacant because there were no other tourists on my floor. I decided to investigate and knocked on the door, but there was no response. As I turned to leave, I saw a dark shadow move across the wall. It was not a person or a figure, just a shapeless shadow. Suddenly, a cold breeze blew past me, and I felt a presence behind me. I turned around and saw the shadow again, floating in the air, casting on an ominous aura. It seemed to be staring at me with an unknown attention. I froze in terror as it floated closer, the shape of the shadows growing larger and larger. I could feel its presence on my skin, and I realized that I was facing something far more sinister than just an empty hotel. I stumbled out of the room, my heart racing with fear. I quickly gathered my belongings and ran out of the hotel, never looking back. I realized that I had stumbled upon something that I could not explain, something that was beyond the natural world. And then I stayed at the temple for rest of the nights near the railway station and waiting for my train to Mumbai. Later, when my fear got less, I went to the hotel again and asked the bellboy. He told me that the room that was given to me was haunted and recently a lady committed suicide in the room. They had given room to me because I told them that I would stay for few hours and leave, and they don't know that this will happen also for few hours. When I returned home, I confided in a close friend about my experience, who stayed in the same room To my surprise, they revealed that they had also had a similar experience in the same vintage hotel. It seemed that the shadowy apparition that had haunted me was not just a figment of my imagination but a terrifying reality. I hope it gave you a shiver down your spine and made you realize the power of the unknown. Lonavala may seem like a peaceful town, but it hides secrets that even science cannot explain. I still wondered about the shadowy figure and what it wanted from me. Perhaps it was just a trick of the light, or maybe it was something more sinister. Whatever it was, it has left an indelible mark on my memory and a lasting fear in my heart. So if you ever find yourself wandering alone in deserted place, keep your wits about you and be prepared for the unexpected. You never know what may be lurking in the shadows, waiting to reveal its true form. So stay safe, my friends, and may you never encounter the unknown.